The Green Edition, in association with the Root Brands, inspiring greatness with natural solutions for people to reach their highest and healthiest potential.
Hello and welcome back to The Green Edition, where we are talking about the future of health, well-being and business as well. Whilst the Root Brands is the presenting sponsor of this program, all the opinions and views in the following segment are of course general in nature. And my guest today is here to highlight water. You know that thing? A seemingly forgotten nutrient. Even today, in this world of globally connected technology, filtration systems, it seems to many that the presence of heavy metals and environmental toxins is of great concern within our water supplies. Clayton Thomas is the founder and CEO of the Root Brands, and he's here to outline how this issue might be resulting in higher mortality rates, according to some important statistics he wanted to bring to our attention. Clayton, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me back. This is the interesting conversation. We might take a couple extra trips down some paths that people might not be familiar with when it comes to water. You know, we know that the earth is made of 70% water. The human body is made of 70% water. And if you know the oceans are polluted, what do you think your body is dealing with as well? Because we're drinking polluted water. And in many third world countries, it's one of the primary causes of death because you have toxic polluted water. But in the non-third world countries, we can call the developed nations, we now have problems that water filtration systems can't even deal with the number of people that are on antibiotics and other psych meds. These things are actually in the water supply, so we're all getting microdosed with now all of these different medications. We're getting loaded with all these toxic heavy metals that are in the water supply. Glyphosate is not something you can really filter out. So you have this amalgamation of all these different pollutants that actually continue to destroy the water supply that we need to live on. But when you look inside, go ahead.
I was going to say that's the point. How do we remain hydrated and healthy if we're unable to drink the water, Clayton? What's the sort of, it seems like a catch-22 to me.
Well, and it's the one thing that we always talk about is we hear the importance of filtration. And filtering your water is insanely important. I have a whole house water filtration system. I have a water filtration system that is on my refrigerator that I get a lot of my water from. We get super filtered water from bottles that we drink. One of the important parts is it's not just the water you consume, it's also what you're bathing in. It's what you take a shower in. And that's why I have a whole house water filtration system. It's one of the most important investments you can make. But the biggest part of filtered water happens to be that which is inside you. Because intracellular water is actually one of the keys to longevity and vitality. And if you want the simple analysis of this, you can look at the comparison between a grape and a raisin. The only difference between the two happens to be water. And if you've ever tried to make wine out of raisins, you'll find it's difficult.
Yeah.
But if you use grapes, you're going to have some success. And here's something that's really important. Mercury, the most deadly neurotoxin known to man, one of the most common toxic heavy metals that we deal with, actually blocks a cell's ability to move water in and out of the cell. So these pollutants, these toxic metals, are actually turning our cells into raisins. And if you're not hydrated, you can drink all the water in the world, but if your cells can't use it,
then
you're still going to be a raisin.
Clayton, I love that metaphor. Can you take us through a little bit more what a person could do to help minimize that exposure to these toxins you've outlined in the water that we're drinking and bathing in? Take us through a few of the solutions that you and the team at Root Brands have identified in your research and, of course, your product range as well.
So we hit on the outside. On the inside, and this is where clean slate's really important, and we've actually proven this clinically, of watching, even in a matter of minutes, through live blood cell analysis and dark field microscopy, of what happens to your red blood cells if you have a baseline of drawing a little blood, seeing what your red blood cells look like, taking a few drops of clean slate, waiting 20 to 40 minutes, and actually retesting, your red blood cells actually increase in volume. They rehydrate. And if you start to remove the pollutants and the chemicals that are inhibiting our overall function. And the most important thing in this is when we look at systemic detoxification and the cleansing of the body, the most important thing to do, besides using clean slate, is actually drinking more water. If you do those two things, you're laying the foundation for a lot of greatness.
Well said. Clayton, as always, thanks for bringing this to our attention and outlining a bit of what you've experienced and what you and the team at the Root Brands are up to as well. Thank you. And of course, thank you to all of you for joining us here on the Green Edition. Remember to drink more water, go do some research, find out how you can help yourselves. Stay healthy, my friends. I'll see you again very soon.